My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Welcome to Pretty Lies and Alibis. Join us as we seek the truth and travel the long road to justice. Hi, everybody. It's Sunday night. That means it's time for another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. For all you new listeners, my name is Gigi. What's good, Fruit Loop?
I thought you were going to say what's up, and I was going to say my sodium content because I've been eating boiled peanuts all day.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I haven't had any in a while.
We have this really cool guy up the street, and he makes really good boiled peanuts. So those of you who are not in the South and do not know what that is, it's boiled peanuts. It's almost like a pinto bean.
Yeah.
It's almost like
good.
pintos. Yeah, that's good.
So anyways, yeah, I had a crazy weekend, but before we get into that, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Too Cool T-Shirt Quilts. You can go to toocooltshirtquilts.com/pretty lies and alibis. She has memorial blankets, pillows, T-shirt quilts, all of it. I mean, I could just order everything she has. And what?
That big pillow she sent us
is the best.
It's so comfortable.
Yeah. I use it all the time. So go check her out, and I'm sure you can find something there that you like. Now, we got a message from a guy named Steven in Philadelphia, and he said, we want to give a shout out to Steven and the gang up at Daly's Tavern in Philly. Apparently they like the podcast up there, and it's a small world. Back when I used to have a few pints, if I were out, that one resulted in Daly's Bar of me getting up there and doing some Janis Joplin karaoke.
Uh-oh.
I remembered it. I remembered the name when he said it. Small World.
Uh-oh. It might be on YouTube somewhere. Right?
It probably is.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to give a shout out to one of my daughter's friends, Becca. She's at college at Winthrop University, and somebody had saw her pin and said, "Oh, you listen to them." Kind of weird, right?
Yeah, Becca's one of our theater kids. So
yeah,
she's not a kid; she's a college student. But
yeah,
she does theater for us. So she's cool. She's a cool girl.
So let me tell you about Sherlock, because we're getting down to the 1-year birthday or anniversary when I got him. So of course I'm going to plan a little something if he shows up at home. Who knows with him? But okay, I got my hair chopped off a little bit. Remember me telling you last episode it was looking rough? Just heavy, no style. So I went and got my hair cut and colored, and I went short with it. So not like pixie short, boy short. It's more of like a bob, but it's got a lot of short layers. So, in the South, we all sleep with a fan on.
Yep.
I mean, right on your face. I don't know of anybody who doesn't sleep with a fan in the South. Winter, spring, summer, fall, it's on. Rarely gets turned off.
Yeah.
We run that thing till the motor just dies.
I've been doing that since I was 3, and it's a box fan. Mine's a box fan. It has to be a box fan.
Oh, no. I have a Vortex that I got from Costco, and you think you're, skydiving.
Yeah, I've got to hear the louder noise of the box fans louder. So
yeah, this was a little bit softer because at night I play the healing tones.
Yeah.
That's supposed to balance you out. But it's hard to be balanced out when your cat Sherlock notices you have shorter hair, and apparently that hair flies now while I'm sleeping. So I wake up to Sherlock literally just going Muhammad Ali on my head, playing with my flying hair. And so that was funny. He
I can't
hasn't
do it.
really been around me with super short hair. So,
That's
and then,
fun.
yeah. And then, so
And you wake up looking like Don King with your hair sticking out.
yeah, that's about right. So
Yeah.
yesterday was 9/11, and we just want to acknowledge that. Just
Yeah.
always a very heavy day for all of us here in this country. And my son Mason, as you guys know, he is a fire explorer. So he works with our city fire department here in Greenville and goes out on calls. And he did the stair climb yesterday. And he did that in honor of Lieutenant Andrew Desperito, who was a New York fireman who perished in the attacks. And I thought that was really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
They had
saw
the
videos. That was cool.
Yeah, they had the audio of the firemen going into the buildings as they were doing their run. And it really touched my son's heart. He just, he said, I thought about his family, how are they now? I mean, just, it was really special for him. And it was a proud mom moment for me. So then I took my girls down to Renaissance Fest, and I wish you could have come because we would have had a blast together looking at everybody's costumes.
I saw some photos. It was pretty comical.
Yeah. No, but I'm going to tell you, Renaissance Fests are fun because everybody there is just in a great mood and it's just like-minded people. We had so much fun.
Yeah, I saw your daddy dressed up in a knight's armor thing or whatever.
Well, I saw your daddy in a Robin Hood outfit.
That one guy looked like Peter Pan.
Yeah. But no, they're great people. We had a lot of fun. And then we went downtown today. I just decided between COVID and the podcast, I can't tell you the last time that I had my kids just out every day doing stuff. And it was, so I just unplugged a little bit this weekend and made it about them. And we had a blast.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was very needed for me and them. And so, yeah.
I've got to give a shout out to my cousin Alex. He is stationed here in South Carolina. He's in the military. And he called me today and he was like, I didn't know you were doing a podcast. And he said, I love true crime podcasts. So he's listening. So shout out to him.
Hey, bud.
Yep. He's a good guy.
Okay. So we've had some messages about political ads on YouTube. And I have been in contact with YouTube, and on our end, we have that we do not want any sensitive subjects because we don't go there, guys. Everybody has their own beliefs and opinions, and they're yours and they're not mine. And I'm never going to try to convince you otherwise. So they are supposed to stop allowing these ads on our channel. And they also said, though, sometimes the user has to go in and adjust their settings if they don't want to hear political or other what they call hot button topics. So we just want to make sure that our listeners knew that was not from us and that does not represent what we think.
Yeah.
Those of you that heard them.
Yeah.
I don't get into politics, but I don't want to be associated with, any of that stuff. Bye.
Yep.
Okay, so look, should we tell them about the sponsorship that we were offered? Just to give them a heads up.
I don't know.
Okay, guys. So we had our first big sponsor reach out to us last week, and it is a company called Manscaping. And you may have heard these ads. They're very funny. Clearly, they're targeting women who have men in their lives, and it's just like, underarm hair, chest hair, nose hair, all of it. So we're kind of sort of thinking about trying it out. It helps us. There are costs associated with doing this podcast. Our goal is to make this our real job. And the way we do that is get sponsors, but we really haven't approached anybody. We've had people approach us. So we're going to think about it. So if you're listening one day and you hear something about some clippers for men's nose hair, we went there.
There you go.
Y'all can close your ears, but we could get paid. So, because we don't ask you guys for money.
That's right. That's right. So we're going to talk a little bit about Valo, right?
Well, just one little thing.
Yeah.
I was on Web Sleuths reading in the file for this case. You know, somebody brought up a really, really good point that Elizabeth Smart's kidnapper, it took him 8 years to be deemed competent for trial. And if you remember, his motive was religious based as well. He thought he was a prophet.
Yep.
So I'm not trying to scare you guys, but this could go on a while.
Yeah. Yeah. And like we said, though, it's not a cakewalk to be going through all this.
No, our person in prison that I know has said, if you are faking it, you'll be back really quickly because you actually have less freedoms when you're
Yeah.
in a hospital being evaluated than you do in the jail. So we will see.
Yep. Yeah.
So big news in the Pike County Massacre. We covered this case extensively.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't familiar with it, go back and anything Pike County Massacre, Rhoden Murders,
Wagner.
the Wagners.
Yeah.
It's a very wild, crazy story. So just a really quick rundown. There's a family called the Wagner family, and there's a dad, a mom, and 2 sons. And then you have the Rhoden family. There were 8 of them. And Jake Wagner had a baby with Hannah Rhoden. And that relationship went south. And there were some issues about child custody. Well, the mom, Angela Wagner, started hacking into Hannah's Facebook and reading messages. Now, here's the interesting thing. Before all this, the Wagner family had essentially strong-armed their oldest son's fiance into signing over all custody of their child together to the Wagners. Remember, she was so scared when all this happened, she left and went and hid somewhere on the property until it was dark.
Yep. I remember all that.
So she reaches out to Hannah, who has the baby with the younger brother, Jake, and says, don't sign anything. I regret it. They will strong arm you. And she said, they'll have to kill me first. And that's what started all this. Angela found that message that she had hacked into. And so now that's kind of believed to be what set the plan into motion.
Yeah. So what just happened? What, yesterday?
Yeah. So we have a lot of new listeners, so I'm just trying to. This family of 4 went and during the night murdered 8 different family members from this family at 4 different locations, including the girl, the mother of the child that she had with Jake, that she said, you'll have to kill me. So there were 8 murders, long time, 4 years before they were arrested, I believe. They went and spent time in Alaska. Anyways, we're not going to get too deep in it. Angela Wagner, who we all thought was sort of the one that was obsessed with custody of these kids. If you remember, Jake pled guilty back in April to the murders, 5 of the murders.
Yeah, they were holding out, and then he finally said, guilty, and then gave up everything.
And not only that, but he agreed to testify against his mom and his dad and his brother at a future trial. But the deal for him confessing was they took the death penalty off as an option, a sentencing option. A lot of people had a lot of feelings about that, but that's the deal the family agreed to.
Yeah. So what happened yesterday? I was shocked.
Okay.
I didn't see this coming.
I think, was it yesterday or the day before? I don't remember. All right. Angela, the mom, it was yesterday. Yeah. Angela pled guilty to, no, it was Friday. Sorry. It's Sunday. She pled guilty to her role in the Rhoden murders, and the state is going to give her 30 years in prison with no early release. And the Rhoden family agreed to this plea deal. The reason I think she pled down is if she had went to trial, she faced 110 years for her roles in the murder. It should have been a life in prison case. Just boom.
Yeah, that's what's shocking to me. And I know I've seen comments on our pages about it.
Yeah.
30 years doesn't seem long enough.
No, because if you do the math, that's less than 4 years per dead body.
Yeah.
They took out a whole family.
Yeah.
So the most serious charges she pled to on Friday, complicity to commit aggravated murder, aggravated burglary, and engaging in a pattern of corrupt activity. Each first-degree felony punishable by up to 11 years in prison and a $20,000 fine. But what did they do with the murder charges?
So the state dropped the 8 aggravated murder charges in exchange for her plea. They do not believe she actually killed anyone, but was a big part of devising and planning the murders. She admitted to buying guns and ammunition, forged custody documents, hacked into social media accounts of the victims, and she also helped move some of the bodies after they had been shot.
Yeah, and here's where I'm confused. There was another report that said that she was at home at the time of the murders, and then she knew what they were going to do, and they talked about it when they got back. I don't know if maybe after all this they went and moved some bodies, but they had the 2 kids at home that time. So we've always kind of wondered who was watching the kids. Hopefully they didn't have them in the car when, Sophia's mommy, Hannah, is getting murdered. So I didn't know. I couldn't make sense of that, but it did.
I just don't understand. I don't understand the 30-year deal. I don't get it.
No, I don't either. I mean, that's 8 people that she went and bought, like the brass catchers. I mean, she went and bought the shoes. She knew what was going to happen. I don't know if maybe the Rhoden family's just tired. This has been 6 years.
Could be.
I mean, 6 years. Here's my question, though. We know that George IV, the older brother, it's been said during some preliminaries that they do not have a lot of DNA evidence against him. I don't know what they have as far as digital evidence, but if I were him, I would take my chances at trial. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, his lawyer said there's not a lot on him.
So I wonder if part of hers is she's going to testify against him.
Well, yeah, she's going to testify against the other 2. She said that. Now she's a witness for the state. All right. So when all this was going on in the courtroom, she didn't show any emotion. She didn't even look over at the Rhoden family from what I saw. But okay, so if we're going to think about it from all sides, yes, life in prison without the possibility of parole would have been the least they could do. And she only will serve about 3.5 years for each victim. But if you think about it this way, she's 48 years old. She's going to be 78 when this comes up for her to be paroled. Can you imagine? I mean, not that I feel bad for her, but she will have hurdles if she makes it out as an elderly woman. She will have no family waiting on the outside. She's not going to have anywhere to go. She's not going to have any money. So whether or not she even lives to be 78 is to be seen.
Yeah. True. Yeah. True.
But the family did agree to it. And I think they're just tired, and they've still got Billy and George, and they both have hearings next week. I'm going to keep an eye on those. Of course, the big theory is that they're going to go ahead and plead guilty as well and just put this all to bed. And then news stations will sue to get the case files. And because there's this morbid side of me that really wants to know how they did it, because they were able to move to Alaska for almost 2 years after the murders. It took a very long time to get them in custody. So we will see what happens with that. I just, it's crazy. I mean, 8 people dead.
Yeah.
In one night.
And we understand everybody's frustration saying that 30 years wasn't enough. We agree, but we don't have any.
But getting out at 78, what's she gonna do? Go get a job?
Yeah.
Have credit to buy a house or anything? She'll end up, maybe in a halfway house.
Yeah.
But that's a really, really high age number to be starting over. And she won't have her family. I mean, Jake, as of right now, Jake has life without parole. And, maybe we'll see what they give George and Billy.
Yeah.
So Murdaugh stuff. Holy moly, guacamole. The rumor mill's crazy, Fruit Loop.
Yeah, everybody's following this case.
Yes, we've got so many listeners from this case. A lot of local listeners, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy getting all these messages of, oh my gosh, I'm in Greenville too.
Yeah.
Can I just say, we spent time downtown today to go look at the art sculptures that are traveling through. It's the angel sculptures. They're
Yeah.
kind of Hispanic art. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. If you guys live local and you haven't gone, go see these statues. They're amazing. We live in a really beautiful part of the country.
Oh yeah. You can be in the beach in no time, mountains in no time. Our downtown's really cool.
Yes, downtown
Yeah.
is amazing. So, what about the reward for the murders?
So the $100,000 reward expires at the end of September. To be eligible, the person claiming the reward must submit the tip to SLED or Crime Stoppers on or before September 30th of this year.
Yes, I'm curious if that's going to be extended given the fact that he's apparently in rehab. We don't know where Buster is, and he's not on really good terms with the law firm. And they're the ones, I believe the law firm is the one that put up the money. They probably not going to put that out.
No. Nope. So I saw this too, the HBO deal.
Oh, yeah. They're in town.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're from what I've heard, they are already in production for a big documentary about this case. I wondered who would get it first. I'm sure Netflix and all these channels. We haven't seen a dateline on it yet. 48 hours. It's going to be all over our TVs before long. Documentary after documentary.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
So I was thinking there's some things that I'm really, and we're just more chewing the fat on this right now because nothing's come out in the last few days, but I'm curious to see the cell phone data and the car data from Alex's car the night of the murders, because between that and surveillance at the facility he was at seeing his dad, you're going to have somewhat of a timeline with him. And I'm really curious to see how that timeline adds up from when he leaves there and when does he get home? And they have a timeline of when they think the murders were, I think 9 to 9:30 p.m. I'm curious to see all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And somebody did say that video footage is from a church near where he was.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I've read that several places that they did have some video, and apparently there was somebody on the video. We shall see. There's some of the rumors have to do with that, but right now, I mean, honestly, like if Fitz News don't put it out there, I ain't saying it because I've read 10 rumors this weekend and nothing's come of them. But if you read one from them, or it's not a rumor, some sources that told, boom, it's going to be out. So that's really who we trust on this case. They've got their finger right in the middle of the right people.
Yep. So some other things. Did Maggie's phone have any activity after her murder?
That's another question. I mean, was anything accessed on that phone? Was anything deleted? They can tell all that.
Well, it's the same thing with the Valo Daybell case.
Yep.
With Charles's phone when he was shot.
Yep.
Did they use his finger to access
They
it?
did. Yeah.
And we know they took the phone with them. So
right. But in this, I mean, you think, why would that phone have been thrown in a swampy area or wherever it was found? I mean, if you didn't touch that phone and you have nothing to do with Maggie, why would you even think about taking a phone?
Yeah, exactly.
Just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So, and I want to hear this 911 call from last Saturday.
Oh, yeah. You could tell a lot of things by somebody's voice.
Well, do you remember when we listened to the 911 call with Alex when he found the bodies? He sounded the most emotional when the lady said, "Is it a house or a trailer?" And he said, "It's a house."
Yeah.
Like his voice got very animated and it was just the most emotion was almost like, how dare you? Of course it's a house.
Exactly.
How dare you think I live in a trailer?
Yep.
So what about a slash on a tire, Fruit Loop? We know that he couldn't have driven anywhere with a slash.
No. If there's a gash in the tire, if he didn't, I mean, He couldn't have drove. If he did, you would think there would be markings on the road or something.
Yeah, because that stuff grinds. Like the metal can hit the road, but
Yeah.
there's no way he could have come from the Moselle property 7-8 miles with a gash.
No.
Run
No.
flats don't cover gashes. It's puncture stuff. Get a nail in your tire.
Yeah.
That's what it covers, not a gaping wound in your tire.
Yeah.
So many things are just a miss.
Yeah, they don't add up. Yeah. Yeah.
So I just was pulling some different things that we really haven't talked about on here about property and stuff, because that's going to come into play in a lot of ways. It was going to come into play in the civil suit right after the double murders happened. They were supposed to have had a hearing just a few days after that boat crash. I mean, after the double murders, I'm sorry. So what about Maggie?
So Maggie Murdaugh owned the Moselle property. The Edisto property was owned by Alec and Maggie.
Yeah. So in June of 2020, which is just last year, Maggie puts on her Facebook that she's moved to Edisto, away from the Moselle property, I assume.
Yeah.
Did you?
That's a big. I mean, Edisto it's beautiful down there.
Oh yeah, Edisto's great. Charleston, all that. I want to go to Charleston soon. Like our beach house is like an hour away, and we're gonna go down in a couple of weeks. And I think I'm just gonna shoot through Charleston. Yeah. Although Justine's, my favorite restaurant, is closed, and I'm so sad.
Man,
that's like 100-year-old restaurant, fried chicken and greens. Oh my gosh, make you want to smack somebody. It's so good.
Yeah. So in December 2016, Alec Murdaugh sold the Moselle property to Maggie Murdaugh for $5 and love and affection.
Yeah, I mean, we do that up here. Yeah, so like you do that with family, $1 love and affection. It's a way to kind of, I think, avoid stuff like tax.
Oh no, yeah, I'm good. I bought a car like that one time.
Yeah, I think I've had property transferred to me like that.
Yeah.
So after a hearing in Mallory's wrongful death lawsuit was supposed to be on June 10th, which would have been 3 days after the double murder. And at that hearing, the judge was going to rule on some motions. And so what were some of those?
Alec and Buster Murdaugh to disclose their financial records. There was a motion to move the case from Hampton County to Beaufort County, which is where the boat crash was.
Yeah, and FitzNews said that hearing could have resulted in Paul and Maggie being added to the lawsuit. And in that lawsuit, the family of Mallory's attorney had asked for a list of all checking, savings, and 401k accounts, a list of all investments, net worth statements, interesting, and tax returns. So, he was kind of on the cusp right there of having to lay bare, whether it good or bad or suspicious, what's going on with his money and properties.
Oh yeah. Well, you can't hide stuff when there's a wrongful death suit or something. I mean, the family deserves.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You can't hide stuff.
Yeah. Now I was wondering, my opinion is this embezzlement, that amount, if what we've heard is correct, FitzNews has said they've heard 8 figures. That has to be over time, though. I wonder if when Randolph died, which was shortly after the double murder, did that kind of kick off some forensic accounting or looking at the funds? Because I think at some point when he dies, you kind of have to divide his share of the law firm between the other partners. And I kind of wonder if that's when they discovered that there was a lot of money missing.
Yeah.
I was just
that's a lot.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
A lot of money.
So what about charges? Who's going to take those if and when they come down?
So as of right now, there are no charges, but when and if there are any, South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson's office will prosecute any charges for the double homicide. They will also handle any charges and appeals filed in connection with any other criminal investigations.
Yeah. And it should be noted that his office is the same office that brought charges against Paul for the boat crash. So you can see that maybe that's going to be the best way to go in this case.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think now too that I mean, it's like the house of cards has fallen, and you're going to be hard pressed to find people other than this Miller dude, lawyer dude, to back the Murdaughs. You're not, his friends are probably scattering right now.
Yeah, House of Cards is falling.
Yep. So I think the dynasty period is over. They've been dethroned. And now we're just going to find all these skeletons like Stephen Smith's murder or death. I'm curious to hear what they found in the course of the double murder that would push them to reopen that investigation. Had to be a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then what skeletons are going to come out with that? You have, and I'll say it on here because it's in the report that several people said the rumor was that Buster was having an affair with Stephen. So some of the rumor mill goes and says other people, use your imagination, but this is going to be the case that keeps on giving, like the Jelly of the Month Club.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
I would enroll in the Donut of the Month Club. That'd be good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I went and got pralines downtown today. So good. I'm spoiling myself. So there's just a lot with this that we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait until they release this 911 call. Still haven't heard from SLED other than, he had a superficial wound. They doubled down with that when they gave a statement to the Daily Beast. So this whole skull fracture, penetrating wound, brain bleed, they're still like, it was superficial.
Did nobody photograph him coming out of the hospital?
I don't know. I mean,
I haven't seen anything.
No, but there was another report that he may have left that same day.
Wow.
So, and then rehab, where's he at? I mean, that's not for us to know, but this is where the rumor mill gets in, and there are a lot of theories out there, and we're not going there.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a case to watch. I think for our normal listeners that aren't, Valo Daybell's probably going to quieten down a little bit. And I think this one's going to kind of take over. I'm really curious to cover these two hearings next week for the Wagners. We'll see if they plead out. I think that might be what's coming. I kind of feel like if they don't have any murders on George IV, maybe do they give him a deal like Angela?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. And I'm going to put some feelers out this week here in Greenville for the Victoria Rose case where Ariel Robinson and her husband both were arrested for beating the foster child to death. She was the one that was on the Worst Cooks in America. I looked at the docket. It doesn't look like anything's been done since February.
Yep, he's out. He posted bond. He's out, and she's still in there. But I hadn't heard anything either.
Yeah, he's going to turn on her. He already has turned on her. He's already said he would testify for the state, and that'll give him a better deal because he covered some stuff up. So I've got some people that I'm going to reach out to and just see if there's anything coming up or, what we can do. I would love to go sit in that trial because it's 5 minutes from my house.
Yep. Yeah, it's real local.
So hopefully I can figure out how to start that process. But that's kind of all for tonight. We didn't have a ton, but we just wanted to hop on because we have fun doing it.
Yeah. So we did have a couple of people ask. I don't know if you saw it. They wanted the link to the Too Cool t-shirt quilt thing.
Yeah. I just, my COVID brain, I keep forgetting. I will put that on YouTube in the description. And then what I'll do is once this episode goes, I will go in and edit and put it on our social media as well.
Yep.
But it's toocooltshirtquilts.com/pretty lies and alibis.
Yep.
But we will post it so you can click it. And we just want to thank all of you guys. We've got some amazing, nice messages. The reviews have been really, really kind. We're still a work in progress. We're still in the toddler phase of figuring out podcast and all that. So we do appreciate you guys being patient with us. And we've got a lot of new listeners lately, and it's just kind of blowing our minds. But we're happy to have you here. And, if you're new to us, we keep it fact driven, but we also have a little fun because this is dark stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let us know if you've ever eaten bull peanuts.
Oh my gosh. You got me wanting bull peanuts right now.
Yeah. The Southern listeners, I know you have.
Oh yeah.
But I know when I lived up north a little ways, they were like, "What?"
Yeah, that's actually the official snack of South Carolina, right?
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my gosh,
So
you get
good.
some Cajun bull peanuts. Whew.
Yeah, I just do regular, but they're so
Yeah.
good.
There, yeah, I don't care. Regular Cajun, I don't care.
Yep.
So
Right.
anyways, I think we're good to go. And
Yep.
so we're planning on another full episode on Wednesday. But if anything happens where we feel like we can hop on and do a 10-minute ditty just to get a little bit of information out there, we'll do it. It's really working better doing this remotely.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Way better. I think we'll be pumping out more
Till you have
content.
a kid run in.
Yeah.
So I'm helping one of my best friends. She just went through. She's going through a divorce, and so I'm helping her with her kids and stuff. So that's why you heard little Ember run in because she wanted to say hey to Hoopy.
Oh, she loves me and I love her.
Yeah, yeah. She didn't know we
They're
were
sweet
live.
babies. Oh, she says, "Hey, Hoopy."
Yeah.
See, my real nickname is Hoopty for people that knew me in high school and after, but most people call me Gigi. But I have two nicknames, but Hoopty, and she can only say Hoopy. So she, in the sweetest little voice, she'll say, "Hey, Hoopy."
Yep.
Bless it. We love them.
You won't hear it because I'm going to edit it out, but she did run in here.
Yeah.
She normally gets to get on and talk. So
yeah, she'll come on and
before we go live. So.
She'll come on and say hey to me and blow me kisses and yeah, they're really sweet kids. So, all right, guys. Well, we will see you, if not before, on Wednesday, kind of in the evening. It works a little better for both of us. My kids are home this week. My high schoolers, they just had too many cases of COVID, so they're virtual all week. So I won't be as busy.
Yeah.
Little one's got to go though.
Good deal. She ain't gonna be happy about that.
No, she loves it. They're learning how to play guitar in their music class. And you know how she is. I mean, I just went down the hall and heard like a Broadway, version of Hamilton in the shower. She is such a wild child. I love her.
Oh, me.
I hear Hamilton and then I go in my room for something and then there's Janis Joplin just blaring. So my kids are so different. I love it.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you on Wednesday unless we feel like doing one tomorrow or Tuesday.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Wells Fargo presents one of the surest ways to grow your money. A Wells Fargo CD account, where you can earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield on an 11-month term with a minimum opening deposit of $5,000. Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/CD rates to open a CD account and start growing your savings with us.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.